So, if you remember, I'd said that before I left London, the first time to go back to Denmark, I'd met Joseph at the town hall in Brixton. And, I always carried my guitar, so that was a good thing. And I learned very early to always carry my guitar because wherever you go, people like, musician, musician, you play that? Come, musician, I want to talk to you. So every time people kind of like get in touch with you because of guitar. So that's what happened with Joseph. And Joseph wanted to know. And obviously, I wanted to do stuff. And I tried stuff, meeting people. And people liked my voice. Like even when I was playing on the streets in earlier, it's like two French dudes kind of like stopped and said, "Oh, you got a great voice. We'd like to make." It was so funny. It was so funny. They stopped me, right? And I was thinking, what these guys want. I was at Green Park playing. I was playing, I saw them, they looked at me and I saw them walk past me and they walked about 10 paces and they were talking to each other and they stopped and I saw them come back to me and I was thinking, okay, what's going on? And so they come to me and they say, we really like we really like your voice. You want to be in a bun? I was like, bun? You want to be in a bun? I was a bun. And a band. So okay, a bun. So they gave me the address in Stockwell, and I went and checked them out one time, and I went to play, and it was to say that all right, cool, yeah. My thing was that okay, we're gonna be in a band. Let's just play now. Let's start jamming. That was my idea. The band was like, okay, let's start playing. Let's play. Let's play until the thing gels, until it works. You know. And then after a while, these guys would get tired of playing and say, well, what we need to do is to, find a four-track machine and we organize the music and then and I'd be like, huh? So I went and I didn't go back again, and I told Terrence, because Terrence used to follow me and Terrence used to try to take me to certain places to meet people who were in the music because so well you really want to do this, so let me introduce you to some people, and we'd go to certain places and everything. And so I told Terrence and I said, yeah, well, to be honest with you, Jimmy, when you came back and told me that you had met up with some French guys, that was Rasta then, I'm saying the French white guys. When I heard that you were gonna do this with some white people, I was like, oof. But I didn't say anything, so I'm not surprised that you dropped that. you know, a level of ignorance still. Um, anyway, so Joseph, he'd met me at town hall and he gave me his address. That's how I found, you had A to Z. So you have the road, the number of of the apartment, the house. That was Loughborough Park Road. So I had to go to 59 Loughborough Park Road. So I went there and I did not know that I was coming to a legendary address. If any of you know about Dub Judah, and if any of you know about, I think his name was Charles Bunyan or something like that. Then there was his girlfriend from Birmingham, black woman. She had, I think her name was Queen Omega or something like that, and she had an album called Alpha and Omega, some dub, some kind of like rare dub stuff. They used to record that up by Acre Lane, right round the corner from where I did my recordings for Lion Music many years later. But them and Dub Judah, they were one crew, and they had opened that squat, but they moved out just before I came to visit. And there was also a Remy, who was an excellent musician, keyboard player, drummer, and everything. And I remember meeting him when I went to see Joseph the first time, but he had moved. By the time I came back to London, he had gone to France. He used to play zouk music from Haiti. So a lot of brothers from Guadeloupe and Martinique and Haiti used to come to that place, so it was well known for that. And the Jamaicans would come and visit once in a while, but mainly to get some herbs. And so I visited this brother and was like, oh, great, you know. And I spent an evening jamming with him. And that was cool. So I'd be coming to see him from time to time when I was living in Mail Road, you know. And so he came to visit me one time because I came to see him. You know, I was telling him different stuff about where I live, how I cleaned up the place, and also now Terence had gone, so Lyndon had come to live with me because I'd met Lyndon on the street, and I asked him where he's staying, and he's like, I said, no man, you can't stay on the street, bro. I've got this place. See how things change. I've got this place down Mail Road. Come and live with me. So I took him in and he stayed with me. But by this time his madness had really settled in, and he wasn't not just talking about, he wasn't just saying Lyndon, Wallybag Lyndon. Nah, he was constantly talking bad about himself, and it stopped bathing, you know. Before that he had been clean. He used to wash his clothes, and oh my God, Lyndon could sing. Oh my God. If there's a Bob Marley, there's some music from Bob Marley, which anytime I hear it, I just remember Lyndon, because he'll be in the shower, not in the bathtub, washing his clothes. This is while we're still at Clarewood Walk, and he was still safe. And he's washing his clothes. There she goes with the pieces of my heart, and here I go once again with my heart aches and pain once again. You know, and all them songs, that high voice, he could do it so beautifully. And he'd be washing his clothes and everything, and you know, so do 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 up shoo up shoo up do 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 up shoo up shoo up. How many times I told you I love you, and now you come to tell me we. And then he used to like that part that goes, do you remember the first night we met? That that was a fun I never will forget. That was the first night I saw you walking through that pale moonlight. You know, it was a brother, and he was there singing, washing his clothes or cooking. But by the time he moved in with me in Mail Road, he had stopped that. He was wearing the same clothes. It was all layered with dust, and his hair was all dusty. And I just knew, okay, my brother is gone. Terence had kind of like stopped talking to him, and there he was, and everything he was saying now was negative. Wally Bag Lyndon, Wally Bag Lyndon, talking like that all the time, you know. Oh, Lyndon, you cut your natty, you cut your natty, you lost now, you cut your natty. It was like somebody else talking through him, you know, and it was terrible, man. And so we used to sleep upstairs. I had a mattress on one corner, just like how we'd stay at Claire would walk. same division really. I would be on this side, Lyndon on that side, on that. But I couldn't sleep at night because Lyndon would not be asleep. He'd just be rocking back and forth, rocking like this. The whole night, all you can hear is just his mattress going. All night long, Rasta. You know. So I I had a cleaning job at the time because my guitar had been stolen. I think I told you that my guitar was stolen, and like I said, the Sid used to drive us way down to Merton College and Bushy and places far out there. We'd be cleaning, and I had my friends. You know, there's a couple of girls from Jamaica who were my friends, my age, and we used to clean. You know, and talk and be talking about stuff. She'd be talking about dances and raves and things like that while we're cleaning, and that's what she'd use her money on or whatever, and that. And I'd be telling her about Lyndon and say, yeah, well, there's this brother who I live with, and this and whatever, whatever. And she says, oh, that sounds suicidal, she says to me. And I say, wow, don't say that, you know. She says, maybe one day you might come home and find him dead. And a couple of days after that, I was in a physics lab cleaning, you know. And I was mopping away, and then all of a sudden, while I was mopping, I just started feeling dizzy, and I started feeling this funny feeling around my neck, you know. I was like, my neck, you know. And I just had to stop doing what I was doing. You know, I remember leaving the mop and everything and just feeling funny, you know. Even now as I speak, the goosebumps come back. And I remember that day because I was kind of like late and everybody else was in the car to pick us back home, and they were pissed off at me. But I was coming and I tried to reach the van on time and got to the van and I sat in, and I didn't say a word, and I heard one of the women cussing and says, yeah, and he doesn't even apologize for keeping us waiting. And I just kept silent, just looked out the window, and we just drove. And I was like, okay. So I forgot about that feeling, and I went and I bought myself some biscuits, and like I usually used to do, and some oats and some fruits because I used to like to eat healthy, you know. And after saying the biscuits, chocolate biscuits. Anyway, I came home like I usually do, and I didn't hear him. So I'm walking up the steps. I walk up the steps, Victorian house. Come to that part where you turn. I turn around, right there. I think I said it already. I saw his shoes, and just dropped all my food, everything on the ground, and just looked up, and there was Lyndon. The whole thing was like a days after that. I went around the corner to his mother's house. She opened the door. She says, Jimmy, because I've been around the house a couple of times. Jimmy, what's happened? And I couldn't talk. She says, come. And she put me down at the kitchen table. I sat down. Many years later, I went and sat down on the exact same chair, exact same corner. I said, Lyndon. So, Lyndon what? Lyndon is hanging from the roof. The mother was like, what? The father couldn't believe it. Dad called the police, and I was crying, and she was like, Jimmy, you have to tell me what happened. I'm the mother. I'm the one who's supposed to be crying. What you doing crying? And I just, you know, she had been saying to me before, Jimmy, go back home to your mother. What are you doing here? The way you're living and everything, just go home to your mother. That was her only message to me. Next thing, the police, so they say, come, show me where it is. So I walk with the dad and the mom. The police had gotten the directions for this address, and I arrived at the scene, and there was blue flashlights everywhere, police, everything. They carried the guy out, and police came and gave me some questioning and all of that. And I can't remember if Joseph was with me or I'd gone to see Joseph, but I know that that night I spent the night at 59 Loughborough Park Road, and from that moment I lived there. Remy had just left his room, so I got the best room, double bed and everything, and I had that room until I left. That's how I left 64 Mayor Road to go live at 59 Loughborough Park Road.